Hello, my name is Jacob Robinson, and I'm a student at the University of Arkansas at Monticello, and I'm going to be talking to you a little bit today about multicultural education. This is my table of contents, going to kind of give you an idea of what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about student-centered teaching, we're going to talk about the learning climate of the classroom, and then we're going to talk about what a multicultural classroom looks like. Student-centered teaching. Part of any kind of lesson, any kind of education, whether it be multicultural or any others, it has to be focused on the student. We become teachers to make a difference in students' lives. Without students, there would be no schools. It is about these students. It's all about the students. And a part of having student-centered teaching and student-centered classroom is to let your students be heard. You're in charge, but you're doing what you're doing for them. Every student deserves to have a voice in the classroom, deserves to be heard. Engaging dialogue is one way that you can do that, or asking questions, having them ask you questions after a lesson. Or if you have a student that's not comfortable sharing their voice, one way that they could have their voice be heard is maybe a journal at the end of every class that they can tell you what's going on in their lives, how they feel about the lesson. But your main thing you're wanting to do is to spark interest in that student in what you're teaching in order to stimulate learning. Passion produces passion. If you're passionate about something, they're much more likely to be able to learn it and to see the reason for learning it rather than you're just teaching something because you have to. Students can tell. And that kind of goes into learning climate. Just as those students could tell if you're not passionate about something, why would they want to learn it? Classroom climate, the climate that you create, is very crucial to student success. A school climate has to have a multicultural education, has to be devoted to a atmosphere of inclusion, to be committed to multicultural education. That we're here to provide an education to you no matter what culture you are. We're going to talk about various cultures. A school has to be committed to that, to have multicultural education. The classroom climate, you may have a poor school climate that's not committed to inclusion, but you as the teacher, you're in control of your classroom, and you can change that classroom climate to favor multicultural education. That's determined by you, the educator. And to have a positive classroom climate, you need quality teacher-student relationships. It's all about the relationships that we're able to build with our students, and that is what's going to produce learning, that they can trust you. Build that relationship, build that trust with that student in order to help them learn the material and see them succeed in life. A multicultural classroom that falls into, that is multicultural education. It starts with a curriculum. Some curriculum is state mandated. It may not be as multicultural as you would like for it to be. But guys, that's where we as educators, we have to get creative and be able to take what curriculum we're given and make it multicultural. But it's our goal as educators to see that all curriculum is already designed to be multicultural, to be inclusive, to include all cultures, and not just focus on a dominant culture that it has. Curriculum in the past has focused so much on just one dominant culture and has not been inclusive. We want to change that. In the classroom, in a multicultural classroom, we want to broaden horizons. We want to introduce our students to multiple viewpoints that might be different than theirs, and to understand other cultures and why other cultures believe the way they do and why they think the way they think. We want to address the hard issues. That's how you broaden horizons. Address racism, address inequities and inequalities. That's how you build multicultural classrooms. And then self-evaluation and reflection. As educators, we should be our own biggest critic. We should self-evaluate and reflect every single day and every single lesson on how we can be better teachers. And we should strive to be better educators each and every day that we walk into the classroom. That should be what your goal is. And guys, these are my references, and that's all I got for you. I appreciate you listening.